Right friends, welcome back to questions and answers advanced. This is for 44th week from 26th October to 1st November, and we are going to discuss 10 questions and some of them require in-depth analysis. Look at the first question here. 4 sentences are given. First and the foremost sentence is PM 2.5 is the index normally used to measure air pollution. Very important indicator, that is the PM 2.5. PM is particulate matter, that is fine particles. Fine particles lesser than 2.5 micron size. You may ask, what is micron? Micron is 10 power minus 6 size of the meter, or you can say 1 micron is 1 millionth part of a meter, and don't forget, milli is 10 power minus 3, micro is 10 power minus 6, nano is 10 power minus 9. Now we are talking about microns, that means microparticles. So micron means less than 10 power minus 6 meter size, and these will be there in the atmosphere, and the main reason is exhausts from various vehicles. We see lot of vehicular traffic on the roads, exhausts from various vehicles, that is one reason. Second is a lot of industrial activity, due to which industrial emissions will be there. Third is burning of agricultural residue, which takes place in and around Delhi in the northern part of the country. So because of these reasons, fine particles will come into the atmosphere, and PM 2.5, that means particulate matter of 2.5 micron size or less. The normal index is up to 50 is good. 51 to 100 is moderate. That means in any city, PM 2.5 should be less than 100 at least. But in a city like Delhi, PM is almost around 250 to 60, something like that, which is highly dangerous to the human health. It is highly unhealthy to the human health. So the first sentence given here is PM 2.5 is the normal index to measure air pollution. The second is, these are the tiniest particles settle deep into the lungs. We inhale air, and through the air these tiny particles will go to the lungs and settle down deep into the lungs, and they also reach the bloodstream. And because of these reasons, several lungs related diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and several cancers are also attributed to this PM 2.5. Look at the third sentence. Higher levels of PM 2.5 are mainly responsible for various lung diseases and cardiovascular problems, and not only that, they are the main reason for several cancers also. And the fourth one is the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1981 stipulates criminal penalties for violation, but they are rarely enforced in this country. So now in the national capital of Delhi, the air pollution levels, particularly PM 2.5, is around 250. It is highly unhealthy, and that should be at least below 100, right? So this is all about air pollution, and I would like to tell you 2-3 important points. In the atmosphere, if more carbon dioxide is there, it will lead to raising of the temperatures and at the same time raising of sea levels. Second important point is, in the atmosphere, if more sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide is there, it may lead to acid rain. Third one is, due to the release of chlorofluorocarbons in the atmosphere, ozone layer in the stratosphere will be disturbed, right? So these are the main pollutants which we are coming across in the atmosphere, right? So PM 2.5 is very important as far as the human health is concerned, and Delhi at present is not safe if you look at PM 2.5 is concerned. Look at the second question. A folk singer in Tamil Nadu was arrested on charges of sedition. This is a political issue, but I thought it fit to take it so as to explain you about what is meant by sedition and what the law says. In recent times, several persons are being framed under sedition. This word is appearing several times in newspapers nowadays. What is meant by sedition? Sedition is nothing but showing disaffection to the state through their writings or by speeches, showing disaffection to the state, which may lead to spreading hatred, right? So, spreading hatred among the communities or showing disaffection to the state, and this is the meaning of sedition. Nowadays, it is more in the news recently. Recently, a folk singer was framed on the charges of sedition because he criticized the policies of Jayalalitha government in Tamil Nadu. And if you look at the origin of sedition, this sedition was introduced as a punishable offence in the year 1870 by the British rulers by incorporating a clause 124A of Indian Penal Code of 1860. Indian Penal Code, which specifies punishments for various criminal offences. If somebody murdered a person, then that is criminal offence, and the punishment will be based on IPC, that is Indian Penal Code. This penal code belongs to 1860. And in the year 1870, when British people were ruling our country, this sedition as a criminal offence was introduced in the year 1870 as 124A clause to Indian Penal Code of 1860. Now, the government in recent times using this clause of 124A, which is leading to a lot of debate in the country. So, all the three given sentences are correct. One is the folk singer in Tamil Nadu was arrested on charges of sedition. That is correct. Second one is section 124A of the Indian Penal Code of 1860 deals with the sedition. Third one is sedition clause, that is 124A, was introduced in 1870 by the British rulers to frame Indians who are showing disaffection to the British rulers. But now in our country, several people are being framed on the basis of showing disaffection to the state. This led to intense debate in the country, right? India's rank in Ease of Doing Business Index 2016. We learnt a lot in the lecture class, but still this question I framed to explain you little more about this Ease of Doing Business Index. This was started by the World Bank in the year 2002, and for the year 2016, this was announced recently, and India's rank is 130 out of 189 countries surveyed by the World Bank. And don't forget, in the year 2014, that is for the year 2014, the rank was 140, and for the year 2015, the rank was 142, but based on the present new methodology, this was revised to 134 subsequently. That means it is raised by only 4 points, not 12, right? So the answer here is 130. CSIR. CSIR is a Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, premier research and development organization in the country. It is autonomous body. Most of the funding is from the Ministry of Science and Technology, and it was established in the year 1942, and it was registered as a society based on the Societies Act of 1860, and it has got 38 laboratories, 38 national laboratories, and premier research is being done in these laboratories, And recently CSIR stated that all the CSIR labs should become for-profit ventures during the next 2 years. That means you should have more industry interaction so as to become self-sufficient. So far, government is funding these laboratories, and there is a policy change. CSIR stated that in future, please look at the funding pattern also. Become self-sustainable during the next 2 years. That is the meaning of this. Right, friends? Nepal signed its first fuel agreement with China, and this is unfortunate event as far as India is concerned. So far, Nepal is dependent on India for all its fuel supplies. Fuel supplies goes to Nepal through the checkpoints along the borders between Nepal and India. And recently, Madhesis are agitating against the constitution. They felt that they were marginalized. Their areas were divided into several states. So these are the demands from Madhesis, and Madhesis are blocking the entry points from India. That is India's version. But Nepal strongly feels that India is responsible for blocking of the trucks. There is lot of mistrust created in recent times between India and Nepal, and the unpalatable thing for India is they signed an agreement with China for fuel supplies, which is not good from Indian perspective also, because Nepal is the trusted neighbor for the past 70 years. Right? And in the year 1950, India and Nepal signed Peace and Friendship Treaty, because of which it allows free movement of people and goods across the borders, and it is not in the good interest of the country to leave the trusted friend. Now they are approaching China as the trucks were blocked coming from India during the festival season. It is causing lot of hardship to the people of Nepal, because Diwali and Chhath festivals are not far away, right? Students of FTII. FTII is a Film and Television Institute of India. So, FTII students have recently called off their strike. They have resorted to agitation for a long time, basically against the appointment of Gajendra Chauhan as the chairperson of FTII. And finally, they called off the strike. And I would like to tell you few things about FTII. FTII is based in Pune. It was registered as a society under Societies Act of 1860. Sometime later we will discuss about society, trust and company, but for the time being, please don't forget, society is coming together of persons with common interest for establishing something. This is coming together of individuals with common interest, right? So, FTII was registered as society under Societies Act of 1860, and it was established in the year 1960, and initially started in Prabhat studio premises of Pune, and later on renamed as FTII in 1971, and television wing was also shifted to Pune, right? And policies are determined by the governing council. It is autonomous body registered as society under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Please don't forget. Look into the next one. The number of ISL clubs. All of you are well aware about the Indian Premier League, that is IPL. IPL is for cricket and ISL is for football. ISL was started in the year 2013. The idea emanated in the year 2013, that is Indian Super League. ISL means Indian Super League. It is the league for football, and it is the initiative of IMG. IMG is basically sports and event management company based in New York. Then Reliance Industries. All of you are well aware about the Reliance Industries. Star India. These three, in association with All India Football Federation, started this Indian Super League, and Neeta Ambani is the founder chairperson of this Indian Super League. And there are 8 ISL franchises. 8 ISL franchises, and this year the second league tournament is going on in the country, and for the first time Kolkata franchisee got the championship, and for the second year the matches are going on at present, and the main purpose is to qualify for 2026 FIFA World Cup. So when someone asks you about Indian Super League, it pertains to football, and the title sponsor is Hero Group, please don't forget, and it is promoted by IMG Reliance Star India, and title sponsor is Hero Group. Founder chairperson is Nita Ambani. Project Loon belongs to Google. Now I would like to tell you a few things. 3 prominent organizations are coming up with 3 ideas to provide low-cost broadband across the world to connect the remotest parts of the world, even in the interior hinterland. The 3 majors are coming up with different ideas. That is, Google is coming up with balloons. Big balloons will cover an area of 40 kilometers in diameter. One balloon will cover circular patch of 40 kilometers in diameter, and Google is coming up with this balloons idea. That means by launching balloons, internet can be provided to the remotest areas. That is the idea of Google. Then if you look at Facebook is coming up with an idea of launching satellites at a low height. Launching satellites is the idea of Facebook to provide a low cost internet connectivity. And if you look at Microsoft, it is coming up with idea of launching broadband connectivity in interior areas by using the unused television spectrum. That is called white space. If people talk about the white space experiment, it is Microsoft. If people talk about the balloons to provide internet, that is Google. If people talk about the satellites at lower height, that is Facebook. Right? Let us see who are going to be successful in future, and this project Loon is launching of balloons, and this is the project pertains to Google, and big balloons will float at a height of 20 kilometers from the ground level, and this was already tested in New Zealand, Brazil and California, and recently they approached India to test this technology, and this balloon project has got potential to provide direct signals to 4G phones, right? So each balloon will cover an area, circular area with 40 kilometers in diameter. Google will act as a technology service provider, and it will partner with internet service provider for internet connection, right? So Project Loon belongs to Google. Satellites, that is Facebook, and white spaces, that is by utilizing the unused spectrum of this television transmission, that is Microsoft. Recently Satya Nadella stated that they will use those white spaces to provide the low cost internet. Name the committee which submitted draft bankruptcy law report. Recently, bankruptcy law report was submitted by T.K. Vishwanathan. T.K. Vishwanathan was former law secretary, and please don't forget, Ishwar committee will look at Income Tax Act of 1961. T.K. Vishwanathan committee recently submitted a draft report on bankruptcy law. These two are very much essential to raise the rank in ease of doing business index. In ease of doing business index, our rank is 130, and the government's goal is to reach 50. So to reach 50, several rules are to be looked at, and these two committees were specifically formed to improve the ease of doing business in the country, and T.K. Viswanathan committee submitted its report on bankruptcy law. Basic thing is, companies may fail, but people should be in a position to differentiate between business failure because of genuine reasons and malfeasance. Malfeasance is that is deliberately destroying an organization. There is a difference between business failure and malfeasance. Business failures may occur because of the conditions, but malfeasance is due to the deliberate act of the firm. And it proposed insolvency regulator and specified timeline of 180 days to deal with the cases of insolvency, right? Look at the last question. 3000 crore Nirbhaya fund is operational. Nirbhaya fund was contemplated after the unfortunate incident in Delhi, and this Nirbhaya fund initial corpus was given 1000 crores of rupees. Subsequently, during the next 2 years budgets, 1000 crores each was allocated, which makes a total of rupees 3000 crores, and this fund is maintained by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Right friends, with this let us conclude questions and answers advanced. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.